All right, finally, we can set down the lie that Devin Haney wants to fight Gervonta Davis. Statements by Bill Haney finally, at least in my opinion, confirm what has always been suspected, that Devin does not want to fight Gervonta Davis. He wants to talk about fighting Gervonta Davis because even in the situation that they're in right now, Devin is acting, or Bill Haney is acting like Devin Haney is the boss and talking about what he will not do to fight Gervonta Davis. And this was on an interview with Mill City Boxing. Let's talk about that in this video. All right. You ever heard the phrase, beggars can't be choosers? Beggars can't be choosers. Well, beggars can't be choosers. If you are in a situation where you don't have a lot of options and you're looking for that opportunity to get on, to get put on, hey, you can't be too choosy about what you're willing to do to get that opportunity. That's just life because, hey, man, you're one of many that want an opportunity. You have to separate yourself from the other people that want that opportunity. And you got to do what you got to do to get that opportunity. If you don't do it, you must not want it that bad. Okay. That's the beggar can't be choosers. So in this case, who is the beggar and who is and who's doing the choosing? This is Bill Haney and Devin Haney being asked by Mill City Boxing about what they're willing to do to get that fight with Gervonta Davis. Because as you know, Gervonta, despite the loss to Ryan Garcia that Devin Haney faced, said he still wants to fight him. Still wants to fight him and would be willing to fight him. And I would love to see these guys actually fight. But when Bill Haney was asked questions about it, he jumped up and started skating around the question. Didn't really sound very convincing. Sounded like he still thought he was the boss and that was still kind of, swimming in that little last bit of used to be an ocean full of BS. Now it's just a little mud hole, but still trying to flap around in this idea that Devin Haney's the face of boxing and what Devin Haney can choose to do. So when Mill City said to him, hey, man, what if Gervonta is willing to go to 140? Are you willing to take a rehydration clause for the fight? Because you know Gervonta is not a 140-pounder. He's a very small guy. Hey, you guys, if you're at the weight class, would you still fight him? But would you fight him with a rehydration clause? Bill Haney says in a very roundabout manner, no. Devin is not interested in fighting anybody that with a rehydration clause unless it is an IBF fight. Because, the IBF has a 10-pound rehydration rule. If it was for an IBF belt, yes. But if it's not for an IBF belt, no. That is the problem right there. What difference does it make, truly, if it's the IBF that says, okay, 10-pound rehydration clause? And you're willing to accept that for Gervonta Davis because the IBF says so, but you won't accept it if Gervonta himself says so? What's the difference? What's the difference between Daryl Peebles and the IBF saying, okay, yeah, we're going to sanction this fight. We agree with this fight. Yep, you guys can fight for, let's just say it's an IBF interim title, something like that. Yes, as long as there's a 10-pound rehydration clause. And Devin Haney says, yeah, okay, great, I'll do that. But if Gervonta says, hey, I'll fight you, and, this can be a pay-per-view that can do 700,000, 800,000 pay-per-views. You can get 30% of the pay-per-view for it. We're going to have a $15 million gate. Man, you're going to walk away for real. For real. Not that yap talk. For real. Walk away with 8 figures. Not none of that Look at my jewelry, even though I know dang well this is a jewelry commercial and I didn't buy this. You know what I mean? Not any of that rented jewelry type shiny stuff that cats be trying to play on their way into the weigh-ins and the least Bugatti type. I'm making 8 figures. I mean the real 8 figures that come after you fight somebody like Canelo, or you fight somebody like Floyd, or you fight somebody like Gervonta, like the real 8 figures that Ryan Garcia got for Gervonta. But you're not willing to have a rehydration clause for that. But if the IBF were to order you to fight Subriel Matias for an interim title, you'd be okay with it then. See, that leads me to believe that you just do not want to fight Gervonta Davis. That sparring session that took place where Gervonta Davis put them hands on you was a real situation that you remember and you don't want to get back into. After we've seen Ryan Garcia hit you with that left hook and put you on the wobbly woo. I'm just glad that now we can get to what the truth has been. Devin Haney the entire time, and Devin Haney's crew the entire time, that he was at 135 pounds, at least from the time that he won the title, talking about Gervonta Davis, had made their career off lynching on pinning themselves to Gervonta Davis, but every single solitary time they had an opportunity to go to the PBC or at least look at the PBC as a way to try to get that fight, they didn't do it. They left Showtime, went to DAZN, left DAZN, went to ESPN on a multi-fight deal, left ESPN, went back to DAZN, never really looking over there at Gervonta. But if you ever had any doubt about it, the fact that Bill Haney said they are willing to take an IBF IBF hydration clause, but they won't do it if Gervonta Davis says it, tells you that he does not want that fight. Because maybe he feels like, yeah, IBF rehydration clause, okay, sure, because it's going to be against somebody I can beat. But no, if it's somebody like Gervonta, no, we're not going to do that with him. We need that size advantage. We need to go as high as we possibly can go. We need that extra 20 pounds that we're going to put on to get in the ring with him. And you know full well Gervonta Davis is not going to do it. Gervonta, if he goes to 140, is going to say, hey, man, 140, see you at the weigh-in tomorrow, weigh-in 150. And you're not going to be walking in and after that, you're not going to have time to put on another 15 pounds and be fresh. Sorry. So we'll see you at 140, see you the next morning at 150, or whenever it is that Gervonta decides the next day weigh-in is, because you know these dudes are, I will agree with Steve Kim on that. People are definitely weaponizing the times at which they are scheduling these weigh-ins. Look, just please, now moving forward, please do not tell me that Devin Haney wanted to fight Gervonta Davis, because in the situation where he's coming off that whooping, he's coming off of a couple pay-per-views that didn't do well. You would think that if Gervonta Davis offered to cut him a break and an opportunity to get to be and show everybody that he is exactly what he says he is, he would do whatever he needed to do to get it. But he's not willing to do what he needs to do to get it. He's trying to play the boss. But let's just hope that that's just talk from Bill and not really the way Devin feels. Because if that thing gets offered to him, and in that particular deal that Gervonta has, the 6, 7, or 8, 9 fight deal that Gervonta has, you better take it. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.